Pittsburgh Steelers fans, what's going on? Welcome back to Blitzburg SWAT. I'm Wesley Seeley, joined alongside Shane Smith. And Shane, we beat the flipping Bears yesterday, man.
We beat the Bears. It wasn't pretty.
Nope.
It wasn't sexy.
Nope.
And it wasn't how we wanted it to be in the second half.
Nope.
A win's a win.
It is, yes. Somehow beat the Bears 29-27. And, yeah, like Shane said, it wasn't pretty, and but a win is a win, man, and it still counts.
And
so.
my score streak continues for when I'm at the game.
Yeah.
Only one loss compared to, I think, 5 wins now. So
There you go. Yeah, we told you that we weren't allowed any more games if this one wasn't a win. So
got a little closer than I wanted it to be.
Your luck almost ran out. Yeah, we held off the Bears though, man, and it wasn't pretty at times. Let's dive right into the offense, dude. Talk about the offense first, as we always do. Offense, I think they scored on their first possession.
They did.
Scored
for like the third week straight or something like that.
Scored 7 too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
At times, I think it was third down. We threw like the deep one to Chase for kind of a jump ball, and then I think it was the opening drive we went for it on 4th and 1. I could be wrong.
I believe so. Yeah, we went for it on 4th twice, and we were 2 for 2 on 4th downs.
And I think one of them was the opening drive.
I believe so.
So it was like one of those ones where it could have stalled, it could have just not happened, but we made it work. We kept it going. So it is what it is. And capped it off with a nice run by Najee for the touchdown. So that was great. But other than that was the only drive that really looked. I didn't like that one. Didn't even look promising, but I was going to say promising because that was the only one that was well put together, and we kept it going.
Right.
I don't know. There was a lot of drives that just kind of stalled out, and I don't know if it was play calling, execution, whatnot. We weren't putting great drives together.
It seems like they were focused less on passing and more on running, but more on running with like sweeps and things like that. And unfortunately, it all came down to our front 5. I feel like we talk about it all the time, but Dan Moore, after saying he had a pretty good game against Myles Garrett, had a horrible game. And Kendrick Green also did not have a great game. There was a couple times I watched Trey Turner get beat.
Trey Turner, yep.
For being a veteran, get him out of here. And Chooks, the O-line as a whole just did not have a great day.
No.
Which affected the run, which, made it to where, okay, we're going to do more sweeps or we're going to do more of this or that. That it's really hit or miss. It's either a 1-yard gain or a 15-yard gain. There's no in-between onto it. And so it was definitely frustrating at times to watch. But thankfully, the Bears gave us some good field position throughout the
they did,
throughout the game.
And I was gonna say just real quick we had 30 passes and we had 32 team rushes. So I mean, pretty well balanced. I mean, that's great. But Najee carried it for 22 of the carries and a 2.8 yard average. That's not good.
Right.
So I think we were just losing at the point of attack. The offensive line was just getting bullied up front, and they kept saying that. The announcers kept saying that Goldman and Hicks were just crushing that interior line.
Which they're a tough defense. So
they got some guys up front for sure. But I just thought we were making some good progression steps, and our O line was definitely doing their job for the running and creating lanes the past couple weeks. Thought they would continue to do that even against a tough opponent now, but they just struggled, and it is what it is. They're still young, so I get it. But
right, yeah, I'd like to see this as like a coaching point to be like, listen, we made some strides, but we hit a wall.
Yep.
Let's not continue to hit that wall. Let's find a way to push through.
Yep, let's keep it going. Let's revert back to a couple weeks ago. Yep, 100%. And we didn't crack 30 points in this one.
No.
Still did not.
Most points we've scored all year, though.
Yep, it is.
And is it the first time our offense alone has scored over 20?
Ooh.
Because the Bills game, we scored over 20.
Yeah, you're right.
But that was due to a special teams touchdown. The only other one that I wasn't sure of was the Broncos game.
I was going to say the Broncos game, what we had 27.
Wow.
And that might have been, Ben threw 2, and Najee had 1. And it looks like maybe the rest were field goals.
Okay. Well, we still broke that record.
Yeah.
Continue to take some small strides and get some more points.
Get some more points, yep.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely weren't the sexiest on offense, but we did enough to win, and really it starts from the attack where the O-line needs to just do a little better, and I think we would have did fantastic.
Right. Yeah, and I was going to say, as far as offense goes, we were mistake-free.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's another great thing. Ben didn't throw any interceptions, no fumbles by any of the receivers, and
4
by
straight
Najee.
games
Right.
that our offense has not turned the ball over.
That's a huge help, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with winning these games. We're we've got to take control and take care of the ball on offense. So yeah, kudos for them for that.
Absolutely.
You got a grade and MVP for offense?
Offense, yeah, I'll go B minus. They did enough to get the win. They did enough to keep the drives going. When they needed to score points in the very end, they were able to drive it right down the field, which makes me question why they couldn't do that the whole time. But we got the win. But it's just, I want to see the line do a little bit better to push a little bit more, so that way we can keep our running game in that positive direction.
Yep. Yeah, I think B minus is pretty fair. Good drive beginning of the game, good drive at the end of the game to get down and do what you need to do, get some points. But yeah, just a lot of getting bullied at the point of attack for the line, and then just weren't able to establish consecutive drives, which I felt like they should have with the field position and the hiccups on the Bears offense. The Bears offense weren't really getting anything, their offense wasn't really getting anything going. So I just thought that would spark our offense to go and let's score more points, and just wasn't. So yeah, I think B minus is pretty fair. Mm-hmm. You got a MVP for offense?
There's a couple of people I could actually do it for. I'm going to leave the rookie for you.
Which one?
We do Najee enough. I'm going to actually go with Ben.
Okay.
It's his 4th game of mistake-free. He completed 21 of 30. 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Doesn't sound sexy on the stat sheet, but for a 39-year-old quarterback that's not named Tom Brady, that's fantastic, and playing mistake-free football and making the right reads, and, he even ran it himself.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that he was an MVP in my books.
Yeah, I like it. No, that's good. Yeah. Mistake-free is very important when it comes to this point in his career. We're not looking for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns anymore from him. I think it's just no mistakes and get some points on the board for us, put some drives together. So I like it. Yeah, I mean, Pat's the obvious one. I mean, 2 touchdowns this game. And had a great game last game against Cleveland as well. Yeah. So, he's just taking strides, man. He's just making us forget about 85. So
exactly. Second game of him not playing, second game of Pat going off.
Yeah.
And it's got to tell you something.
Yep. Yeah, he is. That's 2 games now in a row he's made a touchdown catch, like a contested touchdown catch, too. Beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. Yep. He had a great game, though, so... Yeah, kudos to him. Maybe it had something to do with Heath Miller being in the house. I saw
maybe
he met
absolutely.
With him. So, give him some inspiration there. Defensive side of the ball, I thought they came out flying out of the gates, man. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like when we had first started that first, maybe even second quarter, I guess the whole first half, they're flying all over the field. Like people are just flying around, hitting people, making plays. Like Cam with the pick and TJ getting sacked. Like. Was just going off, and I was like, this is great. I mean, offense is putting some points on the board, 14-0 at that point, right before half. They scored 3, but defense was flying around, man. They looked good.
Right.
And I really nothing bad to say. In the second half, just kind of started to let them creep back into the game a little bit more. And
yeah, it was that bend, don't break, and they started to slowly break. Now, 7 of it was not their fault.
Right.
7 of it was on our special teams.
Came from special teams, you're right. Yeah.
So that kind of stunk, but no, yeah, it was good, and then it was kind of like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna say that like I'm gonna fault the defense, but they just slowed up a little bit more than what they did in the first half.
Took their foot off the gas.
Right. Yeah. So I won't say they played a bad second half. It just wasn't great like the first half was. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and I mean both sides questionable calls and things like that were done and stuff, but no, I mean, go out there to produce, and yet again my concerns were the defensive backs, and yet again they proved that the defensive backs in fact are a little slower and therefore can get beat down the field, especially when you're playing a real soft zone. So things like that I'd like to see shored up, but unfortunately you can't change speed that much over the course of the year. And so it's just a matter of finding ways to fix it.
Yeah, combat that, right? I like the way we played Justin Fields, though, for the most part. I mean, we really held him in check, really held the running backs in check for the most part. They started getting us on those wildcat formations a little bit, too.
Yeah.
But that was like in the second half, though, too. I felt like they started to kind of gain that momentum from those, kind of figured those out. So, you got a grade for the defense for their performance?
Yeah. I'm going to stick with the same grade. I'm going to go B-.
Oh, okay.
They left stuff to be desired. We did have a turnover, 3 sacks, but it was just they let it get a little closer than I think they should have.
Yeah.
With all the talent that we have, I think it should have been more of a blowout.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. I'll go B+.
Wow, 2 grades above me. Woo!
I know. I'm jumping too. But yeah, I guess I just want to reiterate, like, I don't think that they played bad in the second half. They just, like you said, let their foot off the gas. I mean, the first half, the Cam Hayward pick was just crazy.
Yeah.
It was just kind of bizarre, but it was great. And then TJ went off for 3 sacks. Minkah was flying around. The huge hit on Fields was awesome.
Yep.
So they were juiced and they were playing pretty well. The 7 points off of the special teams debacle, that didn't help. That helped them get back in the game, make it look a little bit closer than what it was. But I think 21 points were in the fourth quarter from the Bears, and I think 7 of it was from special teams. So 14 still, though. And that's just like, that's where I don't want to bring them up to the A. So
Right.
I think I'll stick with still a positive, hoping a little bit positive grade. I'll go B+ there for him. So
Okay.
Defensive MVP for you?
I'll save the obvious.
No, go for the obvious. You got his jersey on, man.
I do have his jersey on, so I think we both agree that I was actually going to go for the person that you're wearing the jersey.
Okay. You want to flip flop?
I'll go TJ. I mean, he just proved again he is a monster. 3 sacks. I mean, he was flying off the ball. He was getting double, triple coverage, and he was still finding ways. There was times when he was doing a stunt, he would literally knock over the center, come back around, hit like the left guard or left tackle, and then still be able to make his way around to almost hit Fields. Like, he was all over the field. And after Fields. I mean, one of the plays, he literally came in unblocked.
Wow.
And it was fun to watch him. He had a great game. He had a pass defense. Honestly, if he would have gripped it a little harder, he probably could have had a pick. And I mean, that's why we paid him the money that we paid him, because he's playing so well. It's one of those where, like, our defense completely changes when he's out. Like, 100% completely changes, because he is the main difference maker for sure.
3 team sacks, and he had all of them. So there's your answer right there. That's all you need to hear.
100%. But it's a lot of fun to watch the guy play. And so he's unbelievable. He now has 11.5 sacks on the year. He has a bye in there amongst that. He missed 3/4 of a game, and he missed a whole nother game due to a groin injury. And he's only behind Myles Garrett by half a sack. And Myles Garrett still has not had his bye yet.
Right.
That just goes to show you the kind of player TJ is. It is insane.
He's got the highest motor of anybody in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, he
does not quit.
He doesn't, man. He's great. I'm glad he's on our team. That's all I got to say. Yeah, I guess I'll go Minkah then. If you're going Watt, I mean, Watt's obviously the easy one. You could even throw Hayward in there for his pick and all his efforts. I mean, he goes, he doesn't give enough credit. But Minkah I think he led the team in tackles. 8 you tell me?
All solo. None of them were assisted.
Wow.
So
yeah, and
he was flying.
There was multiple times, yeah. He was come flying up to the line of scrimmage whenever Fields would scramble out. The one big hit on Fields.
Which people were saying was late, and I was like,
no, it wasn't late.
He was in his foot was not out of bounds.
Yeah, the hit started when he was in bounds, and it just kind of finished when they landed out, but that's just how it is. So.
Right.
But yeah, dude was playing great. Still hasn't gotten the pick and all the flashy plays that everybody wants to see him get, but dude's playing consistent, and he's playing fast, so that's what you like to see, and the tackles are showing for it right there, leading the team. So that's great. So I'll pick him for my MVP.
Yeah, no. I mean, he was great to watch yesterday, too, just flying. And, I mean, he was flying. And I know people are complaining about him not getting those splash plays in that, but hitting Fields with a splash play, I mean, that got your defense rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, they loved to see it. They were just yipping and yapping about it. They were pumped up from it. And just, I think maybe he was close to, or maybe defended one of the passes or something like that. I mean, he was just all over. I mean, he was almost like the spy on Fields to be able to keep up with him. And it's just like, he's not getting the picks. He's not getting the fumble recoveries or whatever, but he's still making the plays he needs to, and people are still wanting to avoid him for a reason.
Right, yeah. And I think yesterday, you probably didn't see it because you were at the game, but the announcers pointed out a play. I think it was when TJ got his third sack. It was like a quick slant to Kmet, and Minkah came flying up, just like he did it for that Baker pick six last year. Came in and undercut the slant route, and Justin went to go there, but he saw Minkah came down, and that's when he had to hold on to it, and that's when Watt came in and got him. So, I mean, that's where you don't really see, unless like the commentator breaks that down or you watch like that all-22 film, like you're not going to really probably see that, and that's not a splash play, but it equated to a splash play for our defense. So things like that, go unnoticed, and I'm glad they were able to point that out because I didn't notice it at first either. So that was awesome. So make a great game. Special teams. This is a weird one. Because it's so like here and then
it was definitely bouncy. Harvin didn't have his greatest game. He did shank one, and even some of his punts, like even in warm up, he just didn't look comfortable to him. I don't know if he's never like played in the cold, because it wasn't cold, but it was 40 degrees there or something like that, 41, and with the wind coming off the river, it felt colder than that. So I don't know if that was affecting him at all.
I don't know. He did not play a very good game yesterday.
Didn't play a great game. I think he still averaged almost 40 a punt, even with that shank. So not horrible, but the Bears punter was just as bad, so it kind of helped us.
We'll go better.
Ray had a negative play, which I'm still, again, like the replays at the stadium and that honestly looked like he was down and the ball wasn't moving, so I can't confirm nor deny it. But Boz he's fantastic, other than missing. And honestly, the only reason he missed that kick is that kick would have been blocked otherwise if it was on target. I mean, he was hoping to squeeze it left, and that guy came flying off the edge and almost blocked the kick, and Boz tried to put it right on and just, I mean, it was better than getting it blocked and then 2 points the other way, because then tie game into overtime.
No kidding.
So, but no, I mean, it was on the open end when he made the last 3 points scoring drives the Steelers did was all in the open end of the field, the hardest one, a 54, a 52, and a 40. And the wind was facing against him off of that. So, I mean, they weren't easy kicks, and he's fantastic.
Ray with the bad play.
Yeah.
Fumble, and the Bears scoop it up and score. That was a huge pivotal point in the game, and that was one of the touchdowns they got in the fourth quarter to equate to their 21 points in the fourth quarter. Harvin didn't have the best game, but Boz, dude.
He also got a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
Dude, they were so happy for Boz on the field. Like, they kept like coming over to him and that.
Yeah, Boz was right there for the fumble recovery, and that's where I'm at. Is like Boz made the 52, the 54, which I think they said that he's the only kicker to kick in Heinz Field to make 2 over 50 in one game.
I believe it. It's a hard stadium to kick in.
Yeah.
And I mean, he nails it.
He nailed it. Yeah, he got the 2 long ones. He got the game winner. He did miss the one. And then it's weird because he did great. He got the fumble recovery. We forced that fumble on the kickoff. He got the fumble recovery. But then we had a fumble lost and bad punting. It's like, where do you put the grade for this one?
Oh, yeah. It's quite interesting. And for those of you that say Renegade needs to retire, Renegade played, and then that fumble occurred.
That's what they said,
afterwards. So whoever says Renegade needs to be retired, y'all can forget about it, because
no way, don't do it.
It changes the entire stadium. Like, it was so much fun watching all the towels and that go out, and then that happened. I mean, the place was just ecstatic when that all went. I mean, you could literally feel the whole stadium shaking from people stomping and that after the fumble recovery. So, yeah, I think I'm going to give my grade a B+. I can't quite give them an A, just for the simple fact of some
you're going
of the
B+.
Stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
It was rocking down there, and I love Boz.
Yeah.
But there was some mistakes that I'd like to see corrected. But Boz literally shattered all expectations that I had for him coming back from a concussion. So.
All right, you're making me rethink then. Maybe I'll go B. I was going to go B-.
Oh, wow. Because think about it this way. No Boz.
I know.
We don't win that game.
Oh, yeah, you're right. For
at
sure.
all.
You're right. Yeah. And that's where it's like, if punting would have just been good, decent, and then Ray wouldn't have had that fumble, they're getting somewhere in the A's for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, Boz carried it. I mean, I know we don't give team, like, game balls, but he gets the game ball for me.
He, honestly, for me, Boswell's the overall game MVP.
Yeah.
Like, when you make 3 tough kicks, you get the fumble recovery, just because I know if we would have had to play Lambeau, I'm not trusting him at all on any of those things.
No.
Like,
yeah, he's just clutch. Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is money. So
the wizard came out to play.
Yeah, and he just came off coming out of concussion protocol and just comes and does something like that. It's just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're getting a big contract when you're due.
Yeah, I hope he does.
He's earned it. But yeah, we got the win, man. So that's great.
Yeah, and if you all didn't realize, both him and I have the same MVP for special teams.
Oh yeah, Boz.
So for those of you that didn't figure that one out, I apologize.
Put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, we get the win. Very, very slim win. Advanced to 5-3, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We have the Lions next week, which
second in the division. We're
I know.
only behind the Ravens.
Yep. And if they would have lost,
we would be.
I think we'd be first.
Uh-huh. Yep, because they would have been 0-2.
How crazy is that?
I know.
That's bizarre. That's where I know Steelers fans are, and me and probably you as well. We're just still teetering with how we feel about this team, but anything can happen, and we've seen it the past 2 weeks in the NFL. So many upsets, and really anything can happen. So it's just who makes the plays, who comes to play, and we'll just keep trying to win, keep trying to stay competitive in our division. So we got the toughest one, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the toughest one. We got to stay competitive, and now we go on to the 0-8 Lions. So,
yep.
See how that one works.
Yep, exactly. That's all I got, man. You got anything else to add?
Nope.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks for everybody listening in, joining in. Hopefully we continue our win streak. We're on a pretty good, 4-game win streak now. So hopefully continue that against the Lions next week at home at Heinz Field. And as always, go Steelers.
Let's go Steelers.